Today, Ford's Fiesta range must appeal to a more diverse cross-section of buyers than ever before, hence the need for this active variant, the first ever Fiesta crossover model. It isn't really any sort of SUV, but it might be an interesting alternative to one for quite a number of small car buyers.
Most of the engineering effort here has been put into countering the potential handling downsides of the raised ride height that the development team knew that this Fiesta Active model would have to have. There's 18mm of it, and that's just enough to better cope with a bumpy track, but not enough to deal with any terrain much more adventurous than that. You don't get four-wheel drive, of course, but Ford has added a bit of substance to the lifestyle rhetoric by equipping all Fiesta Active models with a drive mode setup that features a selectable slippery setting, and that tweaks the traction control to help the front wheels better cope with unmade tracks and poor conditions. Other changes include a 10mm wider track, suspension revisions and optimised front shock absorbers that feature a special hydraulic rebound stopper that smooths out the bumps and jolts that you get over rougher surfaces. Fortunately, none of this has detracted significantly from the standard Fiesta's class-leading handling package. Now true, the ride is a tad firmer, but it's still impressively supple over broken urban tarmac surfaces, and it's aided by those special front shock absorbers we mentioned. Get beyond the city limits and Fiesta regulars might notice a touch more body roll than you'll get in the ordinary version of this car, but it's nothing significant, and it's certainly not enough to detract from the kind of handling poise that is a world away from the SUV norm. Active buyers looking for petrol power get Ford's 3-cylinder 1-litre EcoBoost engine in 4 different states of tune: 85, 100, 125 or 140 PS. Here we're trying the 125 PS variant, and that manages 56.5 mpg on the combined cycle and 113 grams per kilometre of CO2. Those readings are pretty much the same as you'll get in the equivalent version of the ordinary Fiesta model. There are also 2 diesel options with either 85 or 120 PS versions of Ford's familiar 1.5-litre TDCI unit. In active form, this Fiesta certainly has a more purposeful gait. In fact, it's surprising just how much visual difference an 18mm increase in ride height can make, though of course the whole effect is amplified by all the styling changes made to this more outdoorsy variant. The profile perspective shows them off best. The extra distance away from the deck is emphasised by dark plastic cladding, which flows around the wheel arches and covers the lower sills. They also feature silver trimming. These 17-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels are unique to the Active 2. At the front, the dark finished grille has a unique mesh pattern, while further down, this lower air intake sits above a bright lower scuff plate built into more black cladding. Time to get in. Now, these optional door edge protectors are neat, and older folk will like the way that the extra ride height makes getting in slightly easier. But once inside, some of them may well not appreciate the yellow seat and fascia trimming that variants like this one feature. Ford says the upholstery and trimming materials have all been specially tested for the outdoor-orientated needs of SUV-style customers. The muddy boots, the sandy beach towels and soggy passengers that this car will be expected to take in its stride. As standard, you get the brand's latest Sync 3 infotainment setup, which allows for easy app integration and also allows you to duplicate the operation of your smartphone onto the central fascia screen via either Apple CarPlay or the MirrorLink Android Auto system. Get yourself into the back seat, and if you're not familiar with this Mark 7 model Fiesta, you might be pleasantly surprised at the amount of legroom on offer. 16mm more than was available with the previous generation car. That isn't enough, though, to make it feel in any way spacious. Most buyers, of course, will merely be carrying small children back here, although even a youngster will only want to travel short distances in the middle of this rear bench, as the cushion is quite narrow. So let's finally take a look at the boot. Now we should give you the total cargo capacity figure, 292 litres. That's 41 litres less than you'll get in the EcoSport and about 20-30% less than you'll get in the most popular Duke genre small SUVs. If you need more room, then pushing forward the 60-40 split folding rear backrest frees up 1,093 litres, and that should be sufficient for the needs of most likely buyers. Nobody buys a small crossover to go off-roading, but people do like the confidence that kind of car can give if, say, you're dropping off the main road onto a gravelly lay-by, or you're negotiating a bumpy track up to a forest car park. Buying an SUV just to deal with that kind of thing might seem a bit extreme when there's a simpler solution like this Fiesta Active on offer. It gives you much the same kind of capability without the usual SUV running cost deterioration and handling downsides. Bottom line, well, if you want a more interesting breed of Fiesta, then getting Active might well be worth a thought.